You wake up every day and walk to the battlefield. But there are no drums of war, no banners waving in the wind, no smell of gunpowder in the air. There's only the cold corridor of an office, and the crushing weight of knowing you're serving under the command of an incompetent general. Your boss is that type of leader that Sun Tzu would describe as a self-inflicted curse, the type of commander who sends his troops to death, not through strategy, but through wounded ego and ignorance, disguised as authority. Each meeting is a trench, where you're bombarded with contradictory orders. Each email is a marching order that makes no tactical sense whatsoever. You see colleagues around you being sacrificed, talents being wasted, morale being systematically destroyed. And worst of all is knowing you're not fighting an external enemy. You're trapped in a civil war commanded by someone who should be on your side, but has become the greatest threat to your professional survival. If you made it this far, it's because you recognized this reality. If you want to learn to master your own mind, to transform rage into strategy, to win silent wars that no one but you will know were fought, subscribe to this channel now. Here you won't find cheap motivation or empty catchphrases. Here you'll learn to think like a military strategist, applying ancient warfare principles to the modern corporate battlefield. Turn on notifications, because each video is a tactical lesson that can completely change how you see power, control, and victory. Now let's get to what really matters. More than 2,000 years ago, a Chinese general named Sun Tzu wrote in The Art of War a phrase that should be engraved in the mind of every corporate soldier serving under a toxic leader. He said that if your enemy is of choleric temperament, seek to irritate him and pretend to be weak so that he becomes arrogant. Read that again, and let the depth of these words penetrate your consciousness. Sun Tzu is not talking about direct confrontation. He's not suggesting you march into your boss's office and list all his failures. That would be tactical suicide, the equivalent of a lone soldier attacking an enemy fortress, armed only with indignation and a sense of justice. Your boss has the walls of institutional power protecting his position. He has strategic allies in the board. He has the weight of hierarchy in his favor. He has the ability to destroy your career with the stroke of a pen. Confronting him openly is not brave. It's stupid. The real war happens in the territory of perception and time. When Sun Tzu talks about feigning weakness, he's teaching the art of strategic dissimulation. Your toxic boss already believes he's superior to you. This belief is the trap you're going to use against him. Feed this illusion. When he gives a clearly idiotic order, don't argue. Execute it with surgical precision. When he humiliates you in a meeting, don't fight back. Absorb the blow with a neutral expression and continue working. When he brags about ideas that are yours, smile discreetly and let him have the temporary credit. Each time you do this, you're not being weak, you're being strategic. You're allowing the choleric enemy to become drunk on his own arrogance. And arrogant men make mistakes. Many mistakes. Emotional discipline is your armor in this war. Toxic bosses feed on emotional reactions. They provoke because they want to see you lose control, because your anger validates their narrative that you're the problem, not them. Each time you respond with emotion, you hand ammunition to the enemy. Each time you complain openly, you expose yourself as a threat that needs to be neutralized. But when you remain calm, when you accept provocations, with stoic serenity, you become invisible to his emotional radar. And invisible enemies are the most dangerous because you can't attack what you can't define as a threat. Now comes the part that separates common soldiers from lethal strategists. While you maintain this facade of calm subordination, you're conducting silent espionage operations. Sun Tzu dedicated an entire chapter of his work to the importance of information. He knew that wars are not won only with swords, but with precise knowledge about the enemy. On the corporate battlefield, this means documenting absolutely everything. Each absurd order your boss gives, you record with date, time, and witnesses when possible. Each meeting where he contradicts himself, you note discreetly. Each email where he demonstrates technical or strategic incompetence, you file in organized folders. Each unfulfilled promise, each impossible goal established, each decision that clearly harms the company, all of this becomes part of your intelligence file. You're not doing this out of paranoia. You're building an arsenal of evidence that will be detonated at the correct tactical moment, because there will be a moment when the board starts questioning the sector's poor results. There will be an internal audit, a restructuring, a merger, some event that will create a window of opportunity. And when that moment arrives, you won't need to shout, won't need to make emotional accusations. You'll simply present cold and irrefutable documentation showing patterns of destructive behavior. And while your boss thought he was dominating you with shouts and humiliations, you were methodically cataloging every step he took toward his own abyss. Here's a question for you to reflect on and answer in the comments. Which do you believe is a leader's greatest fatal flaw? The arrogance that blinds him to his own weaknesses, or the indecision that paralyzes his command ability? Leave your answer, and let's debate this. Because understanding the pathologies of power is essential for those who want to survive and prosper under flawed leaders. There's another layer to this strategy that needs to be understood. While you execute this silent war, you're also building invisible alliances. Identify other soldiers suffering under the same incompetent command. Don't create obvious conspiracies. Don't organize secret complaint meetings. That's amateurism that will be discovered and used against you. Instead, establish subtle professional connections. Exchange relevant information about projects. Maintain cordial and professional communication. What you're doing is creating a network of independent witnesses who, when the right moment comes, can corroborate the pattern of toxic behavior you've documented. Your boss thinks he has absolute power because people fear him. But fear is not loyalty. And when the tide turns, all those he humiliated will remember perfectly every scar. Sun Tzu taught that all war is based on deception. The supreme deception you're executing is making your boss believe he's won, that he's tamed you, that you're just another broken subordinate who accepts anything without question. Let him believe that. Let him feel comfortable and secure in his position as office tyrant. Because comfortable men become careless. They stop guarding the borders. They commit increasingly bigger mistakes.